You think you know how the world works? You think that this material universe is all there is? But what if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
What the? This doesn't make any sense.
Not everything has to, Doctor Strange. Through the mystic arts, we harness energy and shape reality.
The Avengers protect the world from physical dangers. We safeguard it against more mystical threats.
Come with me.
You'll die protecting this world, Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor.
It's strange.
Maybe. Who am I to judge?
Doctor Strange is a story about a cocky, arrogant, intelligent surgeon named Stephen Strange, who, due to an unfortunate yet totally preventable car accident, I might add, loses the use of his hands, and out of necessity and desperation begins to search for a cure. And in his endless search, he finds himself in the East, where he meets the Ancient One, who opens his eye to the hidden world or worlds hidden behind the veil of ours, and thus the introduction to magic and mysticism in the MCU is born. Now, right off the bat, I want to start off by saying that I suffer from a disease called Marvel madness. I've been a huge Marvel geek since as far back as I can remember, and Doctor Strange was one of those characters that I actually fell in love with. He was rare, unique, and not a lot of people or kids my age liked him at that time. I've read a ton of Doctor Strange comic books, and he played such a huge role in the Infinity Wars, and I just simply fell in love with the character and the mysticism and everything behind him. Now, this movie does exactly what the comic did for me back then, which is build a universe, continue to build the Marvel Cinematic Universe in such a way where this movie feels like its own standalone thing, but brings it into the Marvel Cinematic Universe in such a way where it just everything feels connected and everything is going in such a great direction. I love this movie. I highly recommend this movie. If you haven't seen it, go out and see it. Benedict Cumberbatch, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Rachel McAdams, Benedict Wong, Mads Mikkelsen, and Tilda Swinton all did an amazing job in this movie. Nothing is better than to watch characters connect with one another in such a way that is so entertaining that you completely forget who they actually are in real life. I believed every single one of these actors were who they said they were on screen. Mads Mikkelsen did a great job as Caecilius, and Benedict Wong played an excellent Wong. I loved his character. He's always a supporting character in everything I've ever seen him in, but he does such a good job. He's so charming and so funny in this. And Rachel McAdams did a great job as Christine Palmer. You truly believe her emotional connection to Stephen Strange and what they've gone through and what they will go through in the future. And you actually look hopeful, or feel hopeful for them as the story goes on. Watching Mordo's fall from grace was very interesting. There was a lot of little subtle hints here and there as the story moved along. There were actually certain moments where Chiwetel Ejiofor did these little facial tics, mannerisms that gave him a sense of kind of jealousy over Stephen Strange later through the movie. Not in the beginning and not during the middle, but I would say towards the third act, you see a little sense of a little sense of jealousy. There's a little bit of a, why is he taking over the Sanctum Sanctorum when I've been here longer and I've been truly loyal to the Ancient One, who's played by Tilda Swinton. This is just an amazing cast, and Marvel keeps casting people just right. I love every single bit about this movie. Everyone who was in this movie did a great job, especially Benedict Cumberbatch. There were scenes where he would be looking straight at the camera or flying across the camera, and it would be like a scene right out of one of the panels of the comics that I had read as a kid. I got pretty emotional at one of the parts when I saw his face up close and personal, and he was looking directly at the camera, and he was flying towards Dormammu, and I was simply blown away. And I felt my heartstrings being tugged in nostalgia as well as being in the golden age of Marvel movies. where I grew up in the golden age of comic books, this was just an amazing watch. And another thing that Marvel's done here is not force the love story down our throats. What they did is the exact opposite. You see Doctor Strange kind of push Rachel McAdams away, and you kind of end up rooting for her and rooting for their relationship throughout the movie without even really noticing it until, you know, they have an emotional connection later on in the movie itself. And to have you root for a love story is really rare, and that's hard to do. So that's something I have to commend the writers for, because they did a really good job of not forcing love into this particular movie and into this character. This character is so, I don't want to say epic, but there is a huge scope in what he does and a huge role that he plays in everything that comes to follow this. And it's just important to note that yes, he loves this woman, she loves him, but he has such a huge responsibility, an awesome responsibility to take care of on top of their relationship, that he doesn't really have time for it. But once he realizes the errors of his ways, he does take those tiny moments and uses them to let her know that he cares, which, I mean, I love. He doesn't waste time, and there's no moments lost after he, humbles himself. And that's one thing that this movie does right. Benedict Cumberbatch did an awesome job just portraying Stephen Strange, his cocky, arrogant attitude. He's supremely intelligent, which we all know. Benedict Cumberbatch plays Sherlock. Who's smarter than that guy? Absolutely nobody. Maybe Batman, but I'm not going to go there. But yeah, this is one of his best movies that I've seen thus far, and I've seen everything with Benedict Cumberbatch in it. I'm a huge Cumberbitch, and this just goes to show that Marvel is going to continue to wow us. I have no worries as far as any more Marvel cinematic movies that are coming out in the future. Not that I had any at this point, but Doctor Strange is so unique, and he is introducing something that wasn't in the MCU, which is magic and mysticism. And with that, there's a lot of dangerous ground to cover, and in order to introduce it into the real world of the Avengers, quote unquote, it would take a lot, especially when we're all going to see all of these guys on screen at one point or another at the same time fighting Thanos. I'm very excited. Very excited. I can't wait to see Captain Marvel. I can't wait to see Black Panther. I can't wait to see Infinity Wars 1 and 2. This is just an amazing watch. Go out and watch it. I'm not going to score it because I think scores are bullshit, but I love this movie. And coming from a Marvel fan, you have to take it to heart. The writing is great. The directing style is great. Another thing that I gotta mention is the visuals. My God, the visuals were amazing. It's a little bit Inception-ish, but they take Inception and kind of flip it on its head and times it by 1,000. It's incredible. There's fight scenes on sides of buildings as the buildings flip. There's so much going on screen at once that you're just wowed. I watched this in 3D, and it was a hell of a watch. So if you guys have the time, either go out this Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, and if you don't work during the week, hell, go out and watch it during the week. I plan on watching this movie another couple of times before it leaves the theater because it's definitely worth it. So if you guys have the time, go out and watch it. And if you like this video, like it. If you dislike it, dislike it. Everybody has their options and their choices. You follow your own path, I follow mine. And with that said, it's always awesome to hang out with you guys. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.